I'm not going to set up a mic again. And I'm immediately start off with the word of the day, just so I can get into my rambling / reflection on what's going on. So, ooh, this first page is getting quite wrinkly. Okay. Well, the word is machine. That's M-A-C-H-I-N-E. It's a noun. It is 1. Any system formed and connected to alter, transmit, and direct applied forces to accomplish a specific objective. B. A simple device, as a lever, pulley, or inclined plane, that alters an applied force. 2. Any system or device as an electronic computer that assists in the performance of a human task. 3. A powerful political group whose members appear to be under the control of one or more leaders. The verb is machined or machining, and that means to cut, shape, or finish by machine. Machinable is an adjective that you are able to use. So machine. Regarding forces and assistance with completing task. Oh, let me turn that upside down because that front page is very much tearing off again. That dictionary is older. Great. And it sits in the front of my. It rests on my dashboard. So, yeah. Now, when I weighed myself, are they turning or no? No, they weren't with that. So I weighed myself this morning, and I weighed at 206. Now, my height does not begin with a 6, nor does it begin with a 4. However, for my height, 206 is on the heavier side. Now, you may say, well, 206, how much muscle mass are you? How much this are you? How much that are you? Well, I don't believe I have an insane amount of muscle mass to go ahead and justify a 206. That's just not true. I have a lot of body fat. And so, telling you in the last video, in the description, I told you like this is the plan where I need to go ahead and start implementing the things that I keep on preaching about with a plan. Now this morning, I actually I got up in the morning, the first thing I did, almost out of fear, I jumped up and began reading out of my book. It felt great. That is what will continue to happen. Now, a realization then I came to understand is that I can eat breakfast and lunch consistently aligned with my macros. It is when I get to the end of the day where I ultimately do not uphold my standards regarding my diet or regarding the way of life that I am aligning with. Nobody forces me to eat the food. Nobody is forcing me. Now, this is the part where I have to make a sacrifice. And it's true, it is a sacrifice because it will affect someone's mental representation, but they should be understanding of why. But Usually what's happening, and it's because I've been back home, is I just eat whatever my parents are eating. Now that doesn't mean it's always a home-cooked meal. I understand, everybody will say like, oh, it's a home-cooked meal, like you gotta enjoy that stuff. That's true, I do enjoy those. That is true. But eating pizza, eating Cane's, eating more pizza, eating McDonald's, eating these fast foods for dinner is really what's cooking my diet for myself. And what's also cooking it for myself is my late night snacking that occurs. Now, I said when I done it last night and I was there, I realized it was just a conditional habit that I had built, snacking late at night at my parents' house. And I'll say at my parents' house because when I lived by myself, one, I didn't buy myself sweets. That wasn't something I had within my household to go ahead and snack on in the middle of the night. And two, it's only appearing here at this house. So, it's an environmental trigger. And so I gotta alter that in my mind. I am changing that. And so how can I leverage this more? Now I know bodybuilders would wake up in the middle of the night to get their macros in. Now, on what people would call a cut, which is what I am doing, although it's a mixture of both gaining muscle and losing fat, and so still a cut. I can go ahead and eat protein-based snacks. Rather than simply just grab whatever sweets are in the cabinet. Hold on, give me a moment. Okay. So I just like stuff in my eyes. I didn't wash my face, and that's another, no, don't say that. That's another habit to stack on top of the person I am becoming. It's a lot of, no, stop. So having not a detailed plan, and the book I am reading mentions not to have a detailed plan, but it's not to have a loose plan. It's not to have a loose plan. It's not, let's go ahead and save this amount of money every single month. When months can be variable, or let's just save. I want to save money. Well, how much? How often? You go, oh, okay. And then now you get into specifics. And you got to walk this middle line between, it's not a middle line, but rather just an abstract fundamental principle for yourself to stick to continue to repeatedly and consistently do it. If you're able to do it consistently for a long enough time, then it stacks. Now, It is dinner that cooks you into it ultimate. Oh my god. It is really the meal that is. It is really not the meal. It's not even the meal itself, but rather the behaviors. Let me go ahead and admit it like this. It is the behaviors I have with myself towards the evening, towards the end of the night. And I believe that's because my body wants to go ahead and just eat as much food as possible to then convert that all into energy, then to move into the next day and have available. Although there's plenty of fat in my body, you know, like body, you gotta remember, like, oh, but that takes energy to break that down. Oh shit, dude. You're gonna have to get energy anyways, so you might as well just break that shit. But it's really deeply rooted in how my, you know, surroundings and the situations that I've been in my life have led to this habit be so deep rooted within my mind. So it's about changing my behaviors and changing my behaviors is not saying doing the right thing immediately, no, but rather just stopping the wrong ones. It like that in that moment. Thank you, Trevor Mwah, for that one in the book. A lot of people at the gym, apparently. Now, today is really just cardio. I didn't bring my headphones again. Wow. Whew. And this is just a part of the loop. I can prepare the night before for when I go to the gym. I can have it all sitting inside the refrigerator once I get up. My behaviors are not aligned with the lifestyle that I am transitioning into. And I'm slowly aligning them. I'm not use that word slowly. I am aligning them exactly at the right time, in the right place, as that's it. I'm just leaving it like that. But the sacrifice that I believe it comes with is hurting my parents' feelings on the idea that they have of me, that I am changing and I am no longer the kid who was raised that way and who has been like this, but rather a person who is choosing. And again, there's a illusion of choice here, but is choosing a different lifestyle, and that lifestyle, the choices that are needed for that are not really choices, they just must be done. So that's a heavier topic, and I think that sits inside my mind, but it's what's got to be done, and I have to swallow that pill. I'm going to phrase it like that. I think there's a lot of trying to make it easier than it is when you should really just rip the Band-Aid clean off. I love my parents. I love myself. And me taking these steps forward is to ensure that I have longevity in my life. And I understand that we should live for today. I've come to understand that. Live for today, whatever. However, I want to see what it pays off to go ahead and stick to it long enough. And that's for a lot of things I speak about within my life. And I'm telling you, no one else really... The actions are my own. The actions are my own. Even the interpretations that other people have. But I need to care less about this. I just need to care less. And so it is to be careless but considerate. You know? No, stop saying you know. You fucker, dude. What the fuck? Still be considerate, to understand, you know, when I need to actually put the reins on it, but I can't put the reins on it every damn day. You can't just tell yourself YOLO and something else is your dream. And I believe where I saw a little passage on a reel, is do I want the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? At the end, you do it for yourself. And that sounds very selfish, to do it for yourself. But to do this for myself, if what I'm doing for myself isn't really hurting you, like I'm not force feeding you down food. You might say, well, I spent money on this. I was like, I didn't ask for it. And there's things I did ask for, you know? Stop fucking saying you know. To just simply say no and to stand your ground is a behavior that I am developing. A behavior, I am developing. Move. That's it. Let's just leave it like that. I believe there's a lot of extra fluff I add on to the end of my statements, and that acts as excuses in my life, and I'm eliminating those. I am removing them. So, I'm gonna go inside and do cardio. This one won't have a workout reflection. It's a rest day. It's also a mentally resting one. So this one's a bit shorter. And I will go home and I will stand my ground. Whew. I gotta sneeze. Alrighty. See ya. Mwah.